remember my imaginary friends?
I can't remember if your imaginary friends or the voices in your fucking head.
What's the difference? Do you remember what you would yell to me when I was off in my own world?
Gert to Gert.
Where are you, Gert? Earth to Gert! Gert! Earth to Gert! So I'm starting a podcast, and that's the title.
Gert to Gert.
Yeah. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Earth to Gert. I had wanted to be 2 months ahead of air date, but instead I am recording just about 2 weeks ahead of air date. And since I have been too anxious to talk about my anxiety, I don't have that episode ready for you just yet. In the meantime, I have something even better for you. Today, you get to listen to my beautiful, amazing, and oftentimes anxious niece Reagan talk about her anxiety. Reagan has always been the first one to support this idea of mine, and honestly, most of my desire to even start a podcast has stemmed from my conversations with her about our mental health struggles. Reagan and I have always had what we call our little therapy sessions where we catch up about our mental health. And on December 14th, 2020, I wrote this. I wrote this after one of those little therapy sessions. Yes, I'm that old where I have to put my glasses on. So I say, Reagan came over tonight. We talked about suicidal thoughts. I talked about the thoughts I battled in those days. That was the first time I had said out loud what my brain was saying. How can I translate to the world that thoughts like this should be treated like a physical pain? You wouldn't walk around on a broken foot this long without seeing a doctor. See a doctor when your brain is saying this shit. Something is broken. Something is broken when your mind tells you to die. Something is broken when your mind tells you why. Something is broken that your kids are only 3. Something is broken. They'll forget you ever existed. Something is broken. I've never been much of a poet, and I'll probably edit that out. Yeah. Admitting out loud that your brain is telling you to die is one of the hardest and scariest things to do. Being honest with yourself and someone else about the thoughts you're having is so difficult. But the weight that is lifted once you do is pretty significant. And Reagan and I have always thought that other people who struggle could benefit from hearing us talk about our shit. So here we are after many therapy sessions. We finally recorded a conversation about our mental health. So thank you all so much for listening. If you or someone you know is struggling, please reach out to someone, to anyone. The Suicide and Crisis hotline is 988. And if you're feeling stuck and you don't know where to start, you can always reach out to me. All right, thanks for listening. Here's my convo with Reagan. Testing, 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 testing. Hello, 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 hello.
Testicles.
Testicles. Big, hairy, saggy testicles. All right. Okay. Ready?
Yeah, my heart's kind of racing.
I know. Want to take a deep breath? Hi, Reagan.
Hi, Gertie.
Welcome to my podcast.
Thanks for having me.
How do we know each other?
I am your favorite niece / family member.
Named Reagan. What
How do you know me?
You are my favorite niece named Reagan.
Cap.
Wait, does Cap mean lie?
Yeah.
What is your first memory of me that you can think of?
I don't have one distinct one.
Do you have a favorite?
Listening to MySpace music in the kitchen, jamming out to like American Boy.
Braden was listening to that in the shower the other day and I almost cried.
American Boy was a go-to. Yeah, so just like a lot of...
And the Kaylee.
Yes.
That whole summer.
Like the ladder.
Yes. I was going to say the ladder too. Why were we hanging out on a ladder that whole
because
summer?
I think High School Musical was popular then.
Oh.
So if I remember correctly, there was like a scene where you bop to the top.
Okay. Yep. It's coming back to me now.
Wait, did I do the Stewart skit with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like that memory.
Mm-hmm.
And then like memories when the kids were babies too.
Yeah. I think my favorite story of you is the time when it was Christmas and you got all the pretties, the little bows and barrettes, and I asked if I could wear them and you said, no, they're just for girls.
I was mean. Did you have long or short hair?
That was my short hair days. Yeah, I was just fine. Snapchat thinks I'm a boy too. When I do the filters of like, what did you look like in the 70s? It always gives me a boy character. So, I mean,
society.
It's fine.
It's their problem.
I present as a boy. It's okay.
You're just masculine.
Yeah. I've
good.
Always had little kids ask me if I'm a boy or a girl.
Yeah. And your name is Gert, so that's kind of hard for them to tell.
Right. That is difficult. All right. So what can you tell me about you? Who are you? Outside of being my niece, who are you? Who's Reagan?
That's such a good question because I'm also trying to figure out who I am outside of
being my niece. I know.
Being your niece.
There's not much outside of being
Kim Collier's daughter.
Right.
Being a Hogan.
Being a giant volleyball stud.
Being a volleyball player. But yeah, no, seriously, that is $1 million question.
Yeah.
So
we said you're from this area, you're a volleyball stud,
yes. Family proclaimed volleyball stud. I did play D3.
I mean, that's stud.
No, I know.
You helped bring your team to states 4 years in a row.
And we lost every year, but
you still made it there every year.
No, I know. It's hard to talk about yourself in a nice way.
I know. I mean, that's sort of why we're here.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, I went to college at St. Lawrence University. I was a sociology major and an education major, and I'm still working on saying that confidently because I've had a lot of people be like, what the heck? And as an unemployed 25-year-old, I kind of know what they mean now. But I'm also trying to say the words unemployed in a confident way because I made the choice and decision to leave a toxic job.
There's probably like
I was thinking of a way to make it
different way
positive, like not from like a I don't know.
It's not from a negative standpoint in any way.
Maybe like I have a lot of time on my hands right now to prioritize taking care of myself and figuring out what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. On your timetable and not society's timetable.
Yeah. And I'm still trying to find hobbies outside of volleyball after being done playing for 3 years.
How's that working out for you?
I learned how to ski last, and that's the closest thing I've ever gotten to finding a new thing that I actually enjoy.
I was just going to say, that's a pretty big one.
It was amazing. I think I might go again this weekend.
Did we talk about, remember before you went, how nervous you were?
Yeah.
And, well, that's a good say. I mean, anxiety is what we're here to talk about.
That was survival, yeah.
And I said, once you're done, it's sort of like that sense of accomplishment of doing something you were so afraid to do.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that, I mean, I just thought that was such a cool
I was
feeling.
actually like really reflecting on it and making it into a big moment, because it was from both like a family standpoint, being able to go and do that, and just, I mean, I know 25 is still kind of young, but to pick up a new like sport or hobby or skill like that, like, most people start skiing when they're like 2 or 3.
Yeah. I definitely think that's a harder one to start in your older years.
Yeah. So to be able to do that, I was like actually genuinely proud of myself for stepping out of my comfort zone and pushing myself, and especially finding something that I enjoy that's actually also good for you, that's like not revolved around drinking or
and what I
going
love
out or anything
about
like that.
it is it's something you can do with people, or you can just grab your skis and go to West and go all by yourself and just
once I get confident enough getting off the chair by myself. No, it was cool. And like on the last run of the weekend, I like was looking up at the sky and the mountain and everything, and like literally being like, Reagan, take this all in. Like, this is actually so cool.
They call those glimmers.
Yes, instead of
triggers.
Oh yeah, no, it was cool. So, I don't know if I really even described who I was. Did that even?
I think
describe me?
I think
I'm a really fun, cool girl.
You are. Another story. I was just telling the story today. I think you were at Dango's with Aunt Sarah, and the waiter asked you what you wanted to drink, and you ordered a beer, and then they asked for your ID. And at 4 years old, you were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I left it at home." I think that just sort of sums up maybe who you are.
And I wonder why I got a fake ID ticket when I was 19 and lost my license for 3 months. Yeah, but I think I'm an introvert and an extrovert.
Yeah, I think for the most part, the people that listen to this podcast are going to know who you are.
True.
Right? But so what they know of you is this volleyball stud, outgoing, like, I mean, I almost think you're sort of like larger than life kind of person. I know you don't see yourself as that, but
no, I can be extra.
You are one of those people that takes up space in the room and dances to entertain everybody, especially Colliers, who are sort of boring. Like, you're definitely come in with a lot of Hogan around the Colliers.
Your kids, I think, especially, are the ones that are like, yeah, Reagan's the favorite, we know, blah blah.
Absolutely, they think you're the favorite.
Hey, it's hard fitting into these shoes. No, that comes with definitely being the oldest granddaughter.
Yes. But you are that person, but there's also this anxious fuck side of you that
it honestly is. Even shocks myself sometimes too, how
much of an asshole your brain is.
Yeah, and just how, like, me being a kind of like a big personality, fun person is 1000% who I am. So it's not like it's a facade or me trying to cover up inside. It's just so weird to me how I can have two completely sides to me. I think it's because I'm just mean to myself. So that's why my inner dialogue is so much different than who I am externally, because I love the people that I'm around, and then sometimes I don't always love myself that much.
So tell me about your anxiety. What is it like for you? How does it hijack your life? When is it the worst?
How do I explain how it hijacks my life? It's just...
I don't know. Go back to the beginning. Do you know when your first sign or symptom of anxiety was?
What I think is the start of my anxiety is just like the most classic story of myself that I like all my friends know it now. It's like the running joke, like, haha, funny, haha, not actually funny. You're like mentally ill. But the classic nail salon story.
Yeah.
So
Tell me about the nail salon story.
when I was, I want to say like 12, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I can't remember exactly.
So, anyways, I was going to get a pedicure with my aunt, and me being an insecure 12-year-old, I'm like, I need to shave my legs before I go.
Well, you were a very hairy child.
Yes. Not everyone needed to know that.
Cut it out.
I did also, no, it's fine. Keep it. That's what we call Hogan hair. And I think you were also there when my mom bleached my stomach and my...
Your mom did it? I
You
remember
did?
you did it, doing it.
On
And we
the
were just
porch?
all there. Carrie, me,
On the
your
porch,
mom.
right?
We were having a porch party and you were
Yes.
bleaching your stomach.
Well, yeah, I literally had pitch black hair all over me.
Everywhere. Yes. So you were shaving your legs before going to get a pedicure.
So I was like, I need to shave my legs. And there was only like a dull razor. I probably wasn't the best shaver at 12 years old. So I just did a hack job on my legs and had little nicks all over. And my aunt was there to pick me up. So I just had to get in the car. And then when I was in the pedicure chair, they like insisted on doing the lotion. And I said, no, it's fine. Like, I have little cuts on my leg, whatever. But they proceeded to put the lotion on my legs. And then, but now I even think about it, like, were they not wearing gloves now that
They might not have been.
I don't know. I would have been freaking out if they had gloves on. I would have been like, oh, that's fine. But now I'm like, I can't even remember the last time someone did my pedicure without. Like, who would want to touch my feet with bare hands?
I think some folks do. Yeah.
So anyways, once the pedicurist,
Sure.
once his hands touched my legs that had the most insignificant open wounds on myself, I was like, oh my gosh, this is literally my thought process. I was like, he has an open cut on my hand and I
On
have
his hand.
Yeah. And I have open wounds on my legs. Therefore, and I feel like this movie was like Children of the Corn. Okay. I think I watched that when I was way too young. And there was literally a scene where they're like blood brothers. So I literally had the fear of, I have HIV now. And I was like fully convinced. So I looked up HIV symptoms on WebMD, which that should just be blocked on my phone at this point.
Forever.
And whatever. So I don't even remember what all the symptoms was, but one being like usually you get sick with like a cold or flu-like symptoms a month-ish after exposure. So for this whole entire month, I'm just like literally telling myself that I have HIV, like losing my mind. And then lo and behold, about a month after that appointment, I come down with a little sickness. Granted, it was like the winter, I think, like a very normal experience.
Totally just told your body to give yourself a cold.
Yeah. So then I don't know where my mom was, but I was home alone, and this has literally been like bottling up in my system for like weeks and weeks. And finally I called her, and she was probably like, what the heck? But I was like, I have HIV. And I can't remember the exact conversation, but essentially I had a mental breakdown of, I have HIV. I told her why. Again, don't really remember, whatever, but going to my doctor, I was like, give me a blood test stat, and she wouldn't.
And this was all at 12?
Yes.
Or younger?
Just for the record, I do not have HIV.
Never. Definitely didn't get it from a pedicure at Walmart.
No.
Or wherever it was.
Yeah. But my doctor was good and was like just challenging my thoughts in a positive way. Like, whatever. Not that it helped me, but I can't imagine that one incident is just like what started my anxiety.
I was definitely going to say that wasn't the That was when it just finally exploded.
But yeah, that is my triggering, like,
your first real
moment
of the debilitating sort of symptoms.
Yeah, I like to tell that story because I think it really is like a big defining moment in my life. Like, I feel like there's kind of like a before that moment and like an after that moment.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is right or wrong. We have a few of your anxiety moments that we sort of laugh about now. That one.
Yeah.
And when you had breast cancer.
Yeah. Do we need to like...
No, we don't have to go into your budding breasts being
author's note.
Breast cancer.
When you are a girl and you go through puberty, your boobs start to develop. Therefore, you do not have breast cancer. They're called budding breasts. And I did go to the doctor for that as well. So maybe that's the first one. But there is a common theme. Like, I think health anxiety
definitely
is
it's a health anxiety for you.
Is a huge thing for me.
Yes. And health anxiety for those around you.
Yes.
Because if your mom's going through something, you're extra squirrely about it then.
If, like, someone, I mean, I guess it's not health, kind of, but if, like, someone's not answering my text or phone call, I'm like, oh, my God.
They're dead.
They got in a car accident. I know especially for my mom, that used to be, like, a big thing, like, with her coming home from work and stuff like that. I was always
And I feel like stressed. In today's world, it's sort of normal. Like, a lot of us are going through that sort of, and I guess that would be generalized anxiety disorder. You and I were just talking about the 4 most common types of anxiety: generalized, social, phobia, and panic. So definitely would identify with generalized anxiety disorder, right?
Yes.
And then I would say you got some panic in there.
Well, yeah, I don't really know much about panic. I was just diagnosed with generalized anxiety and never really explored anything else. Yeah. So panic is... Do you have to have panic attacks?
No, I don't think so. To be honest, I don't know. I've never really done a deep dive into it. But I would say you're panicky at times.
Yeah, I think because I try to bottle it in so much until I get to a point where I can't, and then I call you.
Or your mom.
Yeah, but then my mom works at a prison, so you've gotten
can't.
Stuck with me more.
Right. But, I mean, that whole calling your mom, that started a long time ago. Probably the day you got a phone. But there was almost a time period where you couldn't go through a day without reaching out.
Yeah.
to your mother for
Has
some
that
sort of...
Stop? No, it definitely has gotten better. But yeah. What time period are you talking about?
I'm just
like
thinking
when I was young or just
high
always?
School, like middle school, high schoolish.
I'm sure.
I guess more I'm thinking of when your mom was working at Mountain Ledge.
Oh, yeah. I called there all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was almost like there was almost not one work day where she wouldn't get a phone call.
How do you know this? Has she vented to you about this?
I wouldn't say vented. We just talked about it at times.
Okay. Yeah, no.
But also, if you can't get a hold of her, it's usually me that gets it. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we talk about... I mean, obviously, we've talked about your anxiety and, you know, whether or not you need medication, you need help, therapy, like when. So I guess that's the next thing. When is anxiety a disorder? Because obviously we've talked about anxiety as a natural physiological response to your environment. It's there to keep you alive. It serves a purpose. But obviously, you should be able to go and enjoy getting a pedicure without thinking of HIV. So there's a point where anxiety becomes a disorder. So
I think when it's... Sorry, are you...
No, yeah. Like...
I mean, I would say, for me at least, when it's, like, irrational. Like, obviously, you're going to be anxious, nervous about an upcoming test or a job
Right.
interview, or like nerves are a good thing and a good part of life.
What are the times in your life that you've had to seek out assistance, help? And what have been the steps that you've taken?
Well, when it first started was in high school. I mean, that was really like depression that caused that whole stuff. But yeah, in high school, I started therapy, and so I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, and
This was in high school?
yeah, like 16 maybe, and depression. So I started taking medicine and therapy then, but I really did not buy into the experience then, especially with therapy. And I remember having, and I think we had these conversations, like I was like very confused and like frustrated with myself, like I don't know, I guess I'm going to talk about depression as well, because they're just like kind of intertwined
I was just gonna
in
say
that experience.
they definitely go hand
But
in hand sometimes.
I was just like, why am I feeling this way? Like, I don't deserve to feel this way. Like, at that time, I was doing very well in school and sports, and like, I had the family, I had the friends. Like,
on paper, you seem to have, you check all the boxes.
yes.
I went through that when I started counseling too.
So I'm like, why? And yeah. I don't know what the question started about us.
So in high school, you went, that was the first time you saw.
Yeah. Did the therapy thing. Like I said, wasn't really buying into it. Medicine, I don't remember what I was on, but and some sort of SSRI, and I wasn't the greatest at taking it, like super irregular with it, and that made my symptoms very much extremely worse. It's very important to take your medication as prescribed. So yeah, that's like, it's also hard. I mean, I've said this before, but I don't know the science behind this, but a lot of that time is like kind of blacked out for me, because I think I was in survival mode, and
Absolutely.
like a lot of what I know from that time period is from what my friends have told me, and I just remember like bits and pieces of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how I got out of it. I don't know if
I would guess that life transitioned for you.
yeah.
And you graduated, you went away to college.
Yeah. But did it ever
And I
ebbs
think
and
like
flows.
I was just gonna say that, yeah, it's a journey that some seasons are harder than others, and it definitely ebbs and flows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that you got out of it. It was just like a natural sort of wave, life, and I think that probably maturing, but it definitely didn't stay up there for you, right? You went to college, played some volleyball.
Yeah, I
Struggled a little bit in your first couple of seasons. And then the whole pandemic hit.
yeah,
Do you remember going to college
it's
by the look on
freaking
your face?
No, I'm trying to think of everything, but it's crazy that like I graduated almost 3 years ago this year.
Yeah.
Like that's disgusting
That
to me.
is pretty gross.
I was just trying to think back of like freshman year of college and how it was. I mean, I absolutely love college and I miss it all of the time. So all in all, I was very grateful and lucky to have the experience, the friends, the volleyball, the academic side. Like I really loved it all. I remember being homesick a little bit and like missing people, but I think there was probably, or the like needing to call my mom like continued on. I remember like just not being able to work through things
Right.
on my own type of thing.
Right. You always had to have someone to bounce it off of,
Yeah.
whatever it is you were going through, walking to class.
Yeah.
Like literally whatever. And a lot of social anxieties too. A lot of like social situations, not social anxiety, but like social situations, like this happened with this person.
Yeah.
Working through that sort of like a, are they mad at me kind of thing? But that wasn't always necessarily like your.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is kind of bringing up the article that I told you about.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. You can talk about that.
Like, explain.
Well, yeah, if you want to talk about, because what you've been going through in recent weeks, months, last year, I guess, is trying to ultimately understand what your diagnosis is. You've been bouncing back and forth between ADHD and OCD and anxiety, and should you be on meds, should you not be on meds? And so, yeah, I guess this is leading us to where you're at now with it all.
Yeah. In the article that my therapist asked me to read about the comorbidity between ADHD and OCD, like obviously decision making being a hard task. I'm not going to remember everything off the top of my head, but for ADHD, it's one reason why it's hard. For OCD, there's another reason why it's hard. And then also a layer of like perfectionism and like this heightened sense of responsibility. So I think that's where, and I've said this before, but like, I don't know the correct term for this, whatever feeling, but I feel like a lot of my anxieties or irrational thoughts come from like moral dilemmas, or I don't know, like, wow. I hope I don't say like so many times in this freaking episode.
I think it's fine. Also, spoken like a true Catholic.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Right?
I don't know if I have.
That's where my brain just went when you said that
Yeah.
whole moral dilemma.
Well,
that
because-
sounds like a very Catholic existential crisis
Well,
that you all go through.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of how I started exploring OCD, because from my understanding of it, OCD is obsessive, irrational, intrusive, kind of scary thoughts that are so unpleasant to you that because they go against who you really are. So the example you said, are they mad at me or anything like that? I know myself that I have really like, my mom has always said like a high moral compass, but I really value like being a good person, making, good decisions when I can. Sometimes it doesn't always happen. But yeah, so I come up with like the craziest things about myself, and I'm like, I try to tell myself, Reagan, if those are really true, people would probably tell you, right? Like, no one has told you that you're, I don't know.
Has anyone ever...
X, Y, and Z.
Right. Has anyone ever told you that other people's opinion of you is none of your business?
No, I'm saying, well, yes. But I'm saying it in a good way, like how I try to like check myself. Because I like to, I mean, we've said this before, and this theme comes up a lot about like, you are not your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're the one thinking your thoughts.
Yeah. So I've gone through phases where my thoughts, my brain, whatever, is my enemy. Like, her name is Brittany, and she's the high school mean girl bully, and she's trying to sabotage me. So I've tried to completely like separate myself from my thoughts in that sense.
Do you notice, I like that we have a name for it. Do you notice Brittany being louder at certain times, like when you're not on your routines of doing the things that you know that you need to do to be healthy?
For sure.
Okay. So I view Brittany as symptoms. When my brain is being an asshole and being mean to me, I recognize that as a symptom, similarly to like pain, if it's twisted my ankle or something. Like when my brain starts doing that, when I start having those intrusive thoughts about whatever, those are symptoms to me. And I recognize I need to start taking care of myself better so that my brain doesn't do that. And my brain's not an asshole.
Yeah. And that will happen to me sometimes where you asked a while back, like, what does my anxiety feel like or something like that? And it's like a constant.
So do you feel it in your head? Like you have shit going on in your head, obviously. Do you feel it in your body too?
Yeah. It literally sits, for the viewers on sound, approximately 6 inches to the left. No, like what is this?
Your sternum?
Yeah, the lower
solar plexus.
The solar plexus, my sternum. So even right now, as I'm just sitting here, I don't know if you just heard me, but I'd be like, like when I take the biggest breath possible, it touches way down there, and like that's where I feel my anxiety. So yeah, obviously I have constant thoughts in my head, but then there's also this constant like pit in my
just energy.
Yeah, and it'll be frustrating because I'll be like, even when the thoughts aren't going, that's still there. So I'm like, I think my body is just, that's its baseline right now.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced maybe moments when you're on vacation?
Well, yeah. So then there'll be times where I'll be like, whoa, I'm not thinking about anything. I was just, sitting there for 10 minutes watching TV and without having a thought, or like at the beach. Or
do you think you felt it in your body then? You think you felt calm?
Yeah. Wait. No, there's both. But yes, there's definitely been times where I'm like, no chest pains, not pains, but no uncomfortableness feeling in my chest and no scary thoughts. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
To live like this. So that's really where my desire to try to live a life where I don't feel like that all day, every day.
Right. So your desire to do the work?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, like, I never realized anxiety was always running in the background. So I thought my mental health issues were the suicidal ideations. That was really what I went to counseling for and got on medications for first, and the depression. And then I sort of knew that I had anxiety. I always knew that I had social anxiety. And then I sort of started having like panic attacks. So that's when I started working with the counselor that I have now. But then during the pandemic, when life shut down and I really got to rest, and I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, like
what is, like, I was looking around and I was like, everybody else is losing their mind because it's a pandemic. There was so much anxiety during that time, but I was the calmest I had ever been. And I was like, was anxiety really running in the background the whole time? Like the whole time, like. And that was the first time in my life I stopped biting my nails. And I was like, I don't even have the desire. And then at times when I would bite my nails again, I was like, oh, I'm anxious right now. This is why I'm biting my nails. So like I can associate now that when I start picking my nails, like I'm experiencing some anxiety.
I was going to say, I feel like you're very mindful and aware of nail biting.
Yes, now that I am, but it was only because I went through that time period where I
used to know your nails and they were
bad.
Maybe that was my first memory of you. They're a little scary.
They were gross. I know, they were always
painful.
Bleeding. Yeah,
so painful. I also stopped biting my nails. I think
I know your mom did too.
I know. I think mine stemmed though more from a health anxiety standpoint, and once COVID came about,
right, you couldn't put your fingers in your mouth anymore.
Yeah, but because I know the anxiety is still there.
Right.
But yeah, I also feel the same way and say that COVID was like one of my favorite points in my life. And from obviously a very sensitive, like not trying to dismiss
Right,
the
because there was a lot
fact
of fear and a lot of
and death, like
death,
millions
a lot
of people
bad,
died. Like
a lot of bad things happened during that time.
I feel bad
but
saying obviously we didn't love that it was a pandemic. We loved that we got back to living the way that we're supposed to be.
Correct.
Like no one is supposed to live
yes
in the state
the way that
we do.
we both just had a seizure.
The way that we do.
Yeah.
And we always said COVID, it was like the new normal. We're going to learn from this and we're never going to go back.
We didn't.
And we are the same.
I went back.
Way.
I went back to my full life and ended up passing out in Hannaford.
Yeah.
That was my giant wake up call that I can't.
We're not meant to live like
that,
this.
right.
Like, we're literally not designed to live like this.
I totally had to redesign my life so that I could be here.
And yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And like me saying, I didn't want to live like this anymore. We're not designed to live like this. How many people feel this way on a daily basis and don't even know that there's a problem with it? And obviously that's
exactly why we're
doing here.
Doing this. But you've seen the benefits of doing the work. You understand that you have to do work in order to thrive, in order to be healthy, in order to not be an anxious fuck and think that you have HIV or
everyone hates me and I'm this horrible person, or I hit someone with my car and don't remember.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And for me, my children aren't going to hang themselves from the exit 22 overpass.
But is that real? That happened?
Yes. My children didn't do that, but someone that in their circle. Yeah. So yeah, it's like a relatable thing, but someone dying by suicide has always been my intrusive and anxious, obsessive worry, thought, fear.
But again, it's your environment that
correct. Yeah. That
makes
I'm in.
You.
Right.
Like you've experienced some things, so.
Yes. So what is your work? What does your work look like? Take me through some of the tools that you use to manage your symptoms.
So kind of a phrase or sentence that I say to myself on the daily is like, choose your hard. Like life is about choosing your hard. So yes, is it hard to get up and go move your body when all you want to do is lay in bed or whatever? Yes. But to lay there in the uncomfortableness of anxiety or whatever it may be is harder. So I try to, and I don't know, where does Glenn Doyle's that where we can do hard things come from? I forgot what that all is about, but some core things that I use, movement. And I think we've talked about this before too, like reframing going to the gym or exercising or whatever. Like
yeah. I don't like to call it exercise.
Yeah. And some there are times where I enjoy going to the gym and killing myself in my body, lifting a lot and whatever. But then
I mean, I think exercise, there's a time and a place for it, and it's great for some people.
Yeah.
But I don't think every person has to exercise. I think every person has to move.
Yeah.
And they have to move their body.
I mean, I do think that there are benefits of weightlifting and getting your heart rate pumping, whatever. But I think moving your body is a more inclusive, especially for someone that's just starting out or going through it. Like,
yeah. If we're talking about people in depression, moving is the absolute last thing you want to do. So, I mean, start small, right? Like,
well, yeah. And I just recently saw something about, obviously we know that walking is really good for, I think they say
that's
like 30 minutes a day or whatever, but I saw something about, because when I was down in Florida, you know, every morning I was walking with the old ladies and they were like power walking, whatever, I could hear people being like, oh, we only got like 18-minute mile or whatever. And I'm sitting there like looking at every single flower and how pretty they were. The birds, like, just,
I think both versions are good.
Yeah, just taking it all in. But I just like, again, I won't be able to remember it. I don't know if I sent it to you, but that type of like mindful walking is so good for you and really like calms the nervous system. There is like a lot of benefits. I forget, but again, just changing the way we frame it. Like I think especially when it comes to exercising or whatever, it comes a lot from a punishment standpoint, like oh, I hate my body, I need to go work out.
Yeah, or I ate this amount of calories, I need to exercise this amount of minutes.
As opposed to like, wow, let me go take myself on a walk.
Let me make myself stronger.
Yeah, let me like make this food that makes me feel good. So yeah, moving my body's one.
And I do think it's important to, if you're experiencing like a heightened anxious moment or episode, to do those slower paced activities versus those high intense workouts, because then aren't you just pumping more stress hormones throughout the body? So that's why I like that. I mean, and honestly, that's why I start my day every day with a walk, just for that reason, is to start my nervous system on a good note.
Yeah.
Versus opening my phone right away like I used to.
Yeah. And by no means am I perfect. And I mean, no one's perfect, but there are still a lot of tools that I need to utilize and develop more. And again, we know with everything, like things ebb and flow. So one week I'm going to be really good with my food. Next week I'm not, depending on what's going on. But I have prioritized, and again, reframing this to like, rather than like saying I'm going to eat healthy foods or stay away from like carbs or fats or whatever, like whole foods, nutrient dense foods. I like to think of fueling my body.
Right. I like to think, what can I give my body that's going to be beneficial to my body versus like, and then the more I do that, the more I don't even ever think about really wanting the bad stuff anymore. Like,
and so I can exercise, or I just said how I
I mean, for you,
for me, I kind of do
exercise. You can call it that. Exercise, movement.
And my nutrition are kind of like the two biggest tools that I use.
You recently said to me that, because you went on a wicked health kick as far as like nutrition, like you sort of,
before I went on my 9,000 trips this month.
Yes. And you said it was one of the most helpful tools in managing your anxiety symptoms. It was really good for your brain.
Yeah. Well, remember how you told me I brought my journal for another reason, but remember I wrote something about food and you were like, bring it?
Yes.
Should I read it?
Yeah, what was that?
It was, well, I think food is not only powerful for how it fuels you, but the process of making the food. Because obviously all the bad food comes in a bag and is like, or you microwave it for 30 seconds, then you can eat it.
Right.
Most of the time, good food, you need to prepare it, and like even being able to experience that, I think has also made a huge difference. So yeah, again, like I said, I'm not great with all my tools. Journaling is something that I need to get better at. But when in doubt, I like 3 things I'm grateful for is like my like bare minimum that I'll do.
Yeah.
So on 1/30/25, I said I'm grateful for the ability to buy fresh, nourishing vegetables to make a healing soup. The process of cutting up all the veggies last night, while tedious, so calming and empowering. These vegetables naturally came from the ground to feed me and have skins and peels to protect themselves. I have the honor to unpeel, revealing their flavorful, delicious nutrient dense core and cutting them finally. Wow, I really got into this. Finally, to eat them and make myself feel good. It is an honor to have fresh food, an honor to have the time to stand there and prepare, and an honor to create into a yummy soup to share with the people I love. Dinners, foods are not supposed to always be fast, easy. Things that are fast and easy to prepare are usually fast and easy to make in a factory. Vegetables and fruit take time to naturally grow. Therefore, it is good to take your time preparing a meal with love, and that loves you back. So,
it is an honor to have the time
oh yeah,
to do it, because that's a privilege.
1000%. Obviously, I have no kids.
Right.
Like, and I think about my mom. Obviously, we know as a single mom, her life looked very different than mine. And with two kids having, I mean, you too.
Yeah.
Kids having sports practices and like most nights it was like McDonald's or Subway, which one? And obviously we know that healthy food is not always accessible, and there's a lot of privileges that go into being able to
to do that.
Have that.
Yep.
But
that again goes to anxiety being part of your environment. So if you live in an environment where you don't have access to nourishing, nutrient-dense meals.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I could go on tangents for like hours and hours and hours about all of this. But, yeah, so food, movement. I think, like, connection, community is a big thing.
Journaling, counseling, medication, those are all things you were doing. What else?
What else about tools?
What else about tools, or what else can you say about anxiety in general? You're going to come back and talk more about medication, because you are on a new journey with that. Correct? So that's your newest tools that you've implemented to manage your anxious brain.
Re-implementing. I would say that anxiety really sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I really, really hate anxiety, and it can really dampen your day or your days, months, years.
And it really is just sort of a hijacking.
And it's crazy how I think so many people are living in this constant state of anxiety, like survival mode, and just
they have no idea.
Yeah.
And it's, I would say the root cause of a lot of things. It's root cause of addiction. Like, a lot of people are addicted to shit just because they're masking their anxiety.
1000%.
And that snowballs into a million other health concerns and reasons. And but again, I think ultimately anxiety is a symptom itself, obviously, of an unhealthy environment.
For sure. And everyone has different levels to it. It is really freaking debilitating at times. And it's just crazy how, the resiliency of us is impressive.
Do you think people would be shocked to know that you have suffered with anxiety as much as you have?
Yeah, especially because of how I come off. Like, I am I don't know, kind of like the class clown of my friend group, or like I'm a very type B person, like go with the flow. So that's why it's honestly surprising to myself how much anxiety I have too sometimes. And I feel like I've always been pretty open and honest with it, which caused like people to bully me in high school, which I think is so stupid. Use it against me to make fun of me when I was like literally trying to, because I knew I'm like, if I can feel like this, so many people have to feel like this, and it's like it needs to be talked about more.
Yeah. And having a community is important, like you said. So reaching out to other people who are experiencing
it. So I will say I think the stigma surrounding it has gotten much better, but, and I'm sure we'll get into this at some point, the the raw, debilitating, like really hard stuff still not talked about enough. Like I think if I like really like, there's some things that's like like people don't really know fully the extent to how scary my brain can be. So I will say that the more severe, or I don't know, the hard stuff is still not
hard to talk about. I know.
It's really uncomfortable.
It's really uncomfortable.
Without making it like, I'm great. Like my friends know I joke about, I don't know if I can say this, but I'll just like be lighthearted, like, oh yeah, back when I wanted to kill myself. Or like really obviously uncomfortable things and not
just sort of
a
dark
joking
humor.
matter and any means.
Yes.
But yeah, I feel like, I mean, if you don't laugh, you're going to cry.
Right.
Like,
well, did I send you the me
about like the graveyard?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that sort of dark humor. Like,
yeah, dark humor to like, I mean, it's definitely like a coping trauma response.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I like am joking about it, that's fine and dandy, but I don't really get into the
right.
And I've really like drawn back. Like in high school, I was very vulnerable, and those were like I'm so mad at myself. I deleted that account because like I got
bullied,
self-conscious and uncomfortable with it, and I like didn't want people to see it. But I wrote some really
I remember
deep good shit.
I know.
And it was when I was like in it, so that was all real stuff.
Right. And those days were about, I mean, there was some cutting episodes in those
I was
days
so
too.
depressed in that stage. I've never been as depressed. I don't think I've reached that level of depression
Again?
since that.
Yeah.
It's been more passive at times, but
I think the time that I was most worried about you after that was when you were at Williams.
Oh my God, yeah. Again, I think your body like kind of blocks some things out to like protect you. But I'll sit here and like beat myself up now of like, why didn't I just like stick it out and get my master's and do whatever? And again, choosing yourself and taking yourself out of an environment that doesn't serve you.
That's right. So that's a decision that a lot of people might not understand. You had an opportunity to get your master's fully paid for. All you had to do was coach another year, right?
And well, no, because my master's program would have been like 3 years.
Oh, okay. So you would have had to stay coaching the whole time you were in it. That makes sense.
Yeah. Like they wouldn't start paying for your master's until like, I don't know, a year, 6 months after being employed.
Okay. So you went out there, coached for a year, hated it.
Yeah. And literally at the best, arguably one of the best colleges in the country.
Yes. And if anyone looking at you from an outsider's perspective would think that that's the best job that you would want.
Yes. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved the job. Like the girls were amazing. The coaches were amazing. Like, I mean, I didn't love the recruiting aspect of it, but overall, like if Williams was in a different location, I could have done it. Yeah. But again, we go back to like authentic connection. There was zero connection there. Right.
And your environment, you were completely isolated.
Home environment was absolutely terrible. And yeah, that like, I do think that was the last time, because I remember that in that era there was a lot of feelings of like the passive suicide. Like I'm not going to do anything, but if I were to get hit by a car, I wouldn't mind. Right. And now I can like actually confidently say that like I don't want to get hit by a car. Yeah. And I don't want to die.
Yeah, I know. It's really cool to say that.
And that's the first, like, I don't know if I've ever been able to say that before. Yeah. So yeah, that is really cool. And like, look at us, not wanting to die.
I know. We want to be alive. We want to live. We want to wake up every day.
Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. And it's just crazy to me that, and I love that for people, but that, like, they have no idea what that feels like.
Right.
But that's why we need to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for talking about it.
Anytime. I'm an open book. Maybe
a couple more times.
Maybe the more I talk, the more I'll open up. There's still some things that.
Yeah, and I think
but boundaries are also good.
Absolutely. And for me, like, a lot of my stuff is intertwined with someone else because I've always been in a relationship. So a lot of it is the mental health of other people around me too that affects me. And I guess that comes back to your environment and, you know, who you surround yourself with. And so there's a lot of stuff that I can't necessarily talk about because it's not my stuff to talk about, but it affected me. So, like,
yeah, it's a fine line.
It's a really fine line, and it's tough. It's tough, but I mean, I guess I'll just do the best that I can with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think obviously it's people's stories to tell.
Right.
But it's also hard because, like, you were there too, so it's your story to tell too.
And their story, what they did or were doing at that time, affected me.
Yeah.
Like, if we go back to my panic episodes, hearing my girlfriend tell me she's Googling how to make a noose and then her not talking or responding to any phone call for the rest of the night, you know, that's
not cool.
But that's how her mental health transferred over to affecting my mental health.
Well, and that's clearly a very traumatic experience for you.
Yes. Yeah.
And obviously we know how healing talking about it is. So it's like, well, maybe some conversations just stay in therapy where it's like...
Right. Or
HIPAA rules.
Directly with that person.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where some of this leads too.
Maybe.
Right?
When you go viral.
Right. I'm hoping for no viral. I'm hoping just for, like, maybe just a very slow, steady increase.
Yeah, that would be good.
That would be really good for my mental health.
Yeah.
I don't want no virals. That's why I'm not doing any videos, because if people saw how cute I am, I'd be going viral.
Like, oh my God.
Right.
Wait, what is it? But what's your name? Like Gay Gert or something?
Earth to Gert?
No.
Gay Gert?
I know your podcast name. Lesbian, like your TikTok name?
Gert Collier.
No. You had some, like...
I didn't have a TikTok name.
No. You had some idea where you wanted a name about, like, being a lesbian. No?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
No, you're wrong.
Gert and Bernie show.
No. No, I think it was like, or maybe it was like a catch line.
The Lesbians Made Easy thing?
No.
Dirty Gert's, the bar I wanted to open, the hookah lounge.
No, but I want you to do that.
Yeah, that's definitely something.
And hookah is, like, not a thing in New York. Like, you need to make it a thing.
I know.
Where'd you hookah?
I've never hookah'd, but I've heard of it, and it just sounds so cool and fun. And I do believe in the benefits of nicotine, right?
There's benefits of nicotine?
Yeah. There are, benefits. Actually, you know who has a really good podcast is the Huberman.
Yeah.
Andrew Huberman.
Yeah.
He has a really good podcast
but
on it.
But aren't, like, any type of inhaling, like, not great for the lungs? Or is that?
I think so, but there's people that take, like, nicotine leaves and stick them up their nose and get the benefits from that way.
No, I will hookah with you. Hookah's fun, and it's like
hookah'd.
It's cool.
Yeah.
We can go down to Saratoga on Caroline Street. There's a hookah bar.
Oh, is there?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I think I've always wanted to open one in Fort Everett across from Slick Fins.
Oh yeah, you should.
Yeah, called Dirty Gert's. There would be a bar, but for, like, weed and hookah lounge, and then during the day there's rooms where you can meditate and do yoga. All sorts of things.
That'd be dope.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can make that into, like, a Hot Shots type bar too.
Oh, yeah.
That's gotta...
We need more
I
space.
gotta do that at some point. Yeah, but you definitely had something about being a lesbian.
I don't think I did.
You did.
I don't know. What was it?
You didn't have a TikTok name you wanted to do ever about being
No. I have always like joked that I wanted to be a TikTok lesbian.
Oh. You didn't have like a punchline or anything?
No.
Okay, maybe you just said that you wanted to do that.
It was a joke. Back when I quit my job at the housing authority, I was joking that I was quitting it to be a TikTok lesbian. I also
You know what's funny though? Like when I say I quit my job to be a TikTok straight person, maybe. I'm not joking.
Right. I maybe wasn't either. But then I got on TikTok for a minute and absolutely hated it, and it was the most anxiety-inducing app that I could ever be on.
Oh,
and
I love it.
left.
That's the problem.
No, I couldn't do it. It's too much for me.
Yeah,
Yeah. But all social media
it's bad.
really fucks with my brain.
It fucks with everyone's brain.
It really makes Brittany loud. Is that her name? Is that what you just called her?
I don't know where it came from. Like, if I know any Britneys in my life, it's not about
Sorry.
you.
Well, thanks for coming on my show and talking to me.
Thanks for talking to me.
And you're coming back in a couple of weeks to talk about medicine.
I have a pretty free schedule right now, so just let me know.
Because you're jobless. Yep. All right. Well, thanks. Good episode. Good first episode, bud.
It wasn't so bad.
No, it was better than I think our first one.
Yeah.
We had more flow and more just staying on task. Last time we got up and got snacks a few times and
Yes. No, I think it was good.
Yeah.